Well, today we are going to get you a super times now explosive exclusive, and this is going to be unmasking and decoding the NEET cheat controversy. A massive investigation into the NEET UG paper leak, and now Times Now has managed to access the entire probe trail that reveals just how the alleged operation unfolded. In fact, NEET UG paper leak investigation has now opened up this trail of secret codes, of classroom connections and digital evidence as well. In fact, Times Now has managed to access details of the chart sheet, which reveals just how the alleged leak network operated, from coded question paper sets to accused using hidden identities and secret offline classes which were happening, a trail of phone calls, call records and forensic evidence, all of it to undermine merit by these cheats. Well, the investigation now points towards the alleged role of multiple individuals. This includes teachers who investigators claim were connected to the circulation of the leaked questions. In fact, our investigation has also accessed details of just how subject-wise questions were allegedly sourced, how candidates were brought into the network, and just how the evidence trail was built through the digital trail as well. The entire records are going to be laid bare right here on Times Now with Priyank Tripathi, who has managed to access details coming in from the chart sheet about the CBI's probe into the entire trail. Well, Times Now, of course, breaks down the complete leak trail. Let's take you through the investigation step by step as accessed by Priyank Tripathi. The first big reveal, the code names which were there behind the NEET UG paper leak trail. There were documents which have been accessed by Times Now, and this is as per the details of the CBI probe, which are part of the details that Times Now have managed to access. It's also going to be part of the CBI's chart sheet. All of this was used both by the examining body and those who were accused in the case. They were using code names. They were not using their real names. The question paper sets were also protected under specific code names such as Kailash and Shivalik. But the code trail doesn't just end there. Investigators have also found that the accused, Yash Yadav, had saved the co-accused Shubham Madhukar Khaimar's phone number under the name of AP Broker. Well, the chat records, according to this investigation, show that this number was being used specifically for what was referred to as the 3rd of May work. However, the mobile phone allegedly used by Shubham to communicate to the AP broker and send the leaked questions were not really recovered by the CBI. During the questioning, Shubham had actually claimed that the phone that he was using to connect with the NEET cheats to leak this paper, that he lost it after it fell out of his pocket while he was writing of digital evidence which could have been found from his phone, which was unfortunately not found. Now, the role of the teachers in the alleged NEET UG paper network is very, very critical. We are going to break it down for you so that you understand what the documents accessed by Times Now reveal about the details of how the investigators are now examining the involvement of multiple individuals, multiple of them linked to special and different subjects. In fact, the investigation now points towards chemistry expert. Who was the chemistry expert? Was a person called PV Kulkarni. He is the one who allegedly held 3 days of online classes before the examination happened, and this is the PV Kulkarni who hosted 3 days of online classes. Investigators are claiming that he is the one who leaked the question. He is the one who gave specific question answer sets to these students, which he was calling there in a small classroom, that they were provided to all the candidates during these sessions of online classes. He was leaking it one after the other. Another name that appears in this investigation is that of Manisha Wagmare. Now, there are 3 Manishas who are there as part of those accused. Let's explain about Manisha Wagmare, another one of those who allegedly acted as a link between the parents and the paper sellers. She was essentially the recruiter for the clients. She is being accused of collecting large cash payments and charging parents up to 4 lakh rupees for these online papers which were written by hand. She is the one who was organizing classes with PV Kulkarni as well. So she was literally the client facing, if you can call it, a person of the entire scam. Now, the investigation also looks at Manisha Mandhare. This is the second Manisha, the Manisha Mandhare, who happens to be a biology teacher. She is the one who conducted offline revision classes as well. In fact, these investigators claim that while there were paper copies which were handed out to many of them, the questions were dictated to the students, and these students were actually writing it down on the corners and on the margins. That's the modus operandi of this Manisha Mandhare. Then you have the fourth name, and this is another Manisha S. Havaldar. She is a physics subject expert. She's also under the scanner, and she is the one who's associated with the NTA, the National Testing Agency, which actually conducts this entire examination. Investigators allege that handwritten physics questions were shared through WhatsApp by her, and after the leak became public, Manisha actually tried her best to try and destroy the evidence. This included a notebook which contained questions. This is a sustained effort which was made to not just leak the question but also remove the evidence trail. Let me go across to Priyank Tripathi, who's joining us live. Now, Priyank is the one who's managed to access all the details of the CBI probe. Bhavtosh Singh is also there with us. So we have the details of the CBI probe, Priyank, and all of this is going to be part of the CBI's charge sheet when it files it as well. But it's very interesting because now we know exactly how that entire paper leak had happened. A lot of the details were known, but what we do have now is these gaps in the probe. All of that is coming together. Does the CBI have a watertight case?
Yes, certainly, Meghna. Looking at the document which we have gone through, which is the cognizance will be taken today. It is quite clear that the Central Bureau of Investigation has not only touched the leak part, that how the leak happened, but they have also gone through the financial trail. The demand for the money started rising from 4 lakh and it went up till 25 lakh, depending on the student. We have already told you to our viewers that how the paper was first sent to a student who was there in Kerala, and then from here it went to Rajasthan, and then the leak happened. But there were several channels which need to be taken into consideration, that how the paper leak happened. Let me tell you to our viewers that there were 3 teachers who were given responsibility of translating the questions into 13 different languages. These teachers, including PV, then Manisha's, they started going to the NTA strong room where the question papers were supposed to be made. There was a small flaw from NDA's side which led to this kind of massive scam. They used to check those teachers, but while they were coming out, the checking was not happening. PV Bagmade, what he was used to do, he used to keep all these small sheets, and on those sheets he used to write the questions. While coming back, the frisking could not spot these small papers, and he used to easily escape from the eye of the CCTV camera. The second modus operandi was of Manisha. She used to memorize all these questions, and whenever she used to come back to her home, she used to write it on the NCERT textbook of class 11th and 12th. So it was easy for her to have the access of the question paper. The third set of modus operandi was to write it in the NCERT textbook. She used to, take it, and then the question paper was prepared. What Central Bureau of Investigation has found that this paper leak happened 3 days before the NEET exam. That was on NEET exam was on 3rd. The paper leak happened on 30th, and then it started circulating. It's a very interesting story which they have also highlighted, that once one of the conduct got the question paper, although they started fielding for the question paper and circulation since the month of October, he sent it to a computer desktop where he told that this WhatsApp should be logged in and the document should be circulated to one particular individual. That computer operator did not delete it. He could sense that there's something fishy, and then he started selling it to different people. That's how the NEET paper leak came into existence. So that's a proper chain of event where CBI has the WhatsApp trail, they have the detail of all those individuals who leaked it, and how these teachers who were given responsibility of translating it actually got the question paper out of that strong room area is certainly something interesting part of the investigation, Meghna.
Absolutely. One would imagine it's inside a strong room. It's like a vault. How did the paper leak happen despite that? Now, Priyank is getting us the details, which is going to plug the holes. Priyank, I'll come back to you and also discuss the subject-wise leak as to who leaked, for example, the chemistry paper, who leaked the bio paper and the physics paper. But before that, let me go across to Bhavtosh. Bhavtosh, now that we know exactly how that leak happened, can NTA's involvement in this be absolved? Because one of them was directly associated, one of the Manishas. These are people who are associated with the NTA, where does the accountability lie?
Well, as our colleague Priyank was saying, the culpability of NTA is the very fact that their strong room was not properly secured. They did manage to make sure that there is no further leak in 2025. The first leak happened in 2024. There were certain guidelines that were or recommendations that were given by CBI. And then subsequently, the leak again happened in 2026. Now, CBI has said that when they mentioned previously that there is an insider involved in the leak of the question paper, they suspected that someone within the system could have leaked it. But their investigation, the initial investigation of 90 days, have revealed that the examination, the persons within the examination system could have been involved. And they have arrested 3 individuals who had set up the question paper, including the one who had set up the chemistry paper, the biology question paper, and the chemistry and the other paper, that is the physics paper. As of now, they are ruling out anyone from the NTA who could have leaked the paper, but they are certain they are also probably writing a letter to NTA to plug all the loopholes within the system.
Well, in fact, do stay on with us, Bhavtosh as well as Priyank. Let's also tell our viewers and focus on what I was telling you earlier, the subject-wise leak. The probe details now, which have been accessed by Times Now's Priyank Tripathi, reveal how the questions from chemistry, biophysics, all of that was allegedly accessed and then passed on to the chiefs. In chemistry, investigators are examining the role of the person that I was telling you about, P.V. Kulkarni. Now, the probe claims that 135 questions were written down on paper chits. That easier questions were memorized and then later noted down in a hotel room. In biology, you had investigators who are looking at the role of Manisha Mandhare. And now this allegation is that the questions were, in this case, memorized. Answers were marked inside the NCERT textbook as well, which made it easier for Manisha to take it down. Now, Manisha Havaldar is the one who actually orchestrated the leak of the physics textbook. Here, the investigators point towards how Havaldar, who is a subject expert associated with the NTA directly. Now, the probe claims that key physics question papers were all noted down by Manisha. Then the investigation focuses on how the matching pattern between the leaked material and the actual question paper had happened. Well, according to the probe details which are now emerging, chemistry showed an almost 100% match. 100%. All the questions were absolutely exact, while biology matched up to 93%. But imagine, 7% margin of error, that's it. If you have the money, these people did circumvent the entire system. Well, Times Now has also learned that P.V. Kulkarni, one of the people who leaked the paper, he emerged as the chemistry subject expert by NTA for UG NEET 2026. He is the one who allegedly conducted special classes days before the exam despite the confidentiality obligations that he was under. According to the investigators, there were at least 9 students who were part of this. This is the secret class we are telling you about. 9 students who attended these classes in Pune between April 25th and 27th. So this man had access to the question papers. He had a confidentiality clause, and yet he held these secret classes. While there are other 3s who attended similar sessions which happened in Latur. Now, the probe claims that the leaked chemistry questions were shared with these candidates, that the CBI had accessed MyGate entry records from Kulkarni's Pune residence. Then they managed to match it with the students' call detail records to establish that, yes, indeed, right before the exam, these students were visiting him for secret classes. Well, the investigators have also found handwritten notes which were prepared by candidates that allegedly matched leaked chemistry questions. The mobile phone which was seized from Kulkarni allegedly contained 9 images of the chemistry paper and answer slips which matched the NEET UG exam paper, along with WhatsApp call logs with even candidates' parents on it. So let me go across to Priyank. Priyank, it is very disturbing because it appears not only did they manage to leak the paper, the accuracy of the leak was up to 100%, and even the minimum accuracy was that of 93%, a systematic way to circumvent, and even confidentiality clauses were flouted, and no one knew.
See, Megha, the CBI has also focused on the earlier 10th and 12th mark sheet of all these students who were roped in by, I would say, portion by these suspects who knew it from the month of October 2025 that they will be managing to have the paper leak happen. That's why they started pitching to these students, and money of 1 lakh rupee in the name of tuition was taken. What you are referring to is also important because the entry detail of all these students to the home tuition was also spotted by the center-based investigation. But it is also important to note that these students had secured 49, 53 and 48 numbers out of 100 in the 10th and 12th examination. But if you match the number of the question paper which was found from their possession by the center-based investigation, it clearly shows that their percentile could have gone to 99 and 98%. So you can imagine that someone who's getting approximately 50% in the 10th and 12th could have managed to secure the 99% in the NEET papers. That could have certainly compromised with not only the health of the country, those students who would have become possible doctors, but that could have also been a very hazardous thing for all those patients who would have gone to them. So these are the basic things which has been highlighted, which could have had a major implication. Let me tell you to our viewers that how this leak happened. One of the teachers from Rajasthan who spoke to us earlier in the day, Suthar, had been staying in a residence, and his landlord came to him that he has got 2 PDFs which is looking similar to the NEET examination. But when the exams happened and this teacher matched, he was shocked to see that the question papers which were handwritten question paper were actually matching to the NEET 2026 examination. The complaint was given to the NTA. NTA was the first respondent which wrote to the Rajasthan police, and then the investigation was given to the center-based investigation. I would say it's a foolproof investigation by the CBI, which not only focuses on how the papers got tricked away, how the paper got leaked from the main server or strong room of the NTA, but how the circulation also happened and how these people who started taking 4 lakh rupees for examination paper started raising it to 25 lakhs per student was an interesting turn of event, which led to massive protests here in the national capital. In fact, after the uproar on the streets and in the parliament, the minister also had to resign. So this is a major investigation which has been done by CBI, which has led to resignation of a minister, a protest where the CJP protesters came on the streets, and which also led to the second set of re-exam which happened in NEET.
Well, keep tracking the developments on that front, but let me also ask you one last question before you go. That this entire expose the Times Now is getting for our viewers are coming in at a time when Rahul Gandhi has spoken about it, when you have Mato, a student leader who's already on hunger strike. We've seen the Jantar Mantar protest. We've seen a lot of cries for accountability. But learning from this, what are the lessons that are going to be implemented to ensure that these kind of paper leaks don't happen? Because it's not just about NTA, it's not just about NEET. We are seeing this repeat after repeat, pattern after pattern across several states, Priyank.
Absolutely right, Meghna. There are a few things which are key takeaways for the NTA. One, their system of scrutinizing all those teachers who are translating these 13 question language papers should be done properly. Second thing, the strong room from where the papers have been leaked, there should be a better mechanism. And the third thing is that the connivance of all those conduct who have been running these coaching institutes is also important. See, there are thousands and lakhs of coaching institutes, so it would be difficult for the government also to keep a tab on. But the process through which the paper is transported from the strong rooms to the examination center should be kept under scrutiny. And this particular leak is also highlighting that the selection of the teachers and their strong room should be more robust mechanism, so that this should not be repeated in the near future.
Absolutely, and accountability is a must. Priyank, do stay on with us. That's a huge mega Times Now exclusive we just got for you. The NEET conspiracy, inside details that no other channel has managed to ask. But what has been the fallout of it? That's the next big breaking news that we are getting for you. The details and updated information which is now coming out about ISI's target Jantar Mantar plan. Was there an Pakistani hand behind it all? Did ISI want to target the paramilitary and the Delhi police deployed there at Jantar Mantar? Well, the question of the arrested accused has now revealed sensational details. Their interrogation by security agencies, Punjab police have reportedly revealed details of the target Jantar Mantar conspiracy. Well, during the questioning itself, the arrested accused reportedly revealed the entire sequence of events linked to the alleged target Jantar Mantar conspiracy and the terror plot which had happened. In fact, one of the accused, Dev Singh, alias Karan, had instructed Vishal to travel to Delhi. 2,000 rupees was allegedly arranged for the journey through a shopkeeper at around 7 p.m. the same evening. Vansh Kumar, Vishal, alias Gangu, Rohit, Dev Singh, alias Karan, and Sukhdeep Singh assembled at Amritsar railway station. They left for New Delhi for a train, and during interrogation, the accused reportedly told the investigators that after discussing the plan for some time, they decided not to carry out the attack. Well, they subsequently called their park-based handler and told him that they were leaving the material meant for making petrol bombs under a bench and were returning, saying that they will no longer be part of this conspiracy. They were then apprehended. Let me go across to Priyank. Priyank, I believe on their return to Punjab, were they apprehended? What is this larger Pakistani plot, an ISI plot and footprint which seems to be appearing?
See, Meena, over the period of last 6 months, agencies have found that ISI have been trying to install the live CCTV footage monitoring cameras in important government installation to basically monitor the route of the troops. But soon after they realized that there's a massive protest which is going on in the national capital, they use the same, module to come here, the national capital, and carry out petrol bomb, which is monologue cocktail attack on the CJP protesters, so that the rift can be created more in between the government and the students who were sitting in the streets, and also to create unrest in the country. But these module people could not do that. Later to that, the same set of handlers had instructed them to go out and carry out an attack on the security personnel because they failed to attack on the student, and they felt that since they were Nihangs also who were present there, this could have been taken as an attack on the religion, Sikh religion. So the Pakistan certainly wanted to stay away from the K2 model, and they preferred not to go ahead with the attack. Henceforward, these suspects got scared. They could not carry out attack on the security personnel because they were in a very close proximity to the students who were sitting there, and they were on their duty near the Jantar Mantar. While they were going back, the PTM pattern had led to this kind of massive disclosure by the Amritsar police, where 9 people have been arrested. But during the questioning, the suspects have revealed that the target was not only the security personnel, but also the students. Meghna.
Absolutely. So it was the security personnel who were on target of this alleged ISI plot. Thank you so much, Priyank, for breaking it down for us. Was there a larger conspiracy? Well, the footprint is slowly emerging. With that, we are going to be wrapping up Setting the Agenda. Thank you so much for watching. I'll meet you again on Monday, 12 noon, right here on Times Now.